In the early hours of a November morning, a crash on Elm Street in downtown Dallas left the city reeling. A young woman, full of life and ambition, had been struck by an SUV and pinned underneath. First responders rushed to free her, using airbags, lifting the vehicle, but she later died in the hospital. That woman was 23-year-old Aya Knox, known affectionately by many as the Queen of Dallas. Her death sent shockwaves through her community, and quickly her story became one not just of tragedy, but one of remembrance, grief, and pressing questions. Aya Knox was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, where she attended Lakeview Centennial High School, graduating in 2020. She worked at a local medical clinic, a job that spoke to her compassionate nature and her dreams of caring for others. Her aspiration was to become a nurse, a goal she shared with family and friends, showing how committed she was to making a real difference in people's lives. To those who knew her, Aya wasn't just kind, she was deeply loved. Her family called her the Queen of Dallas, a title that reflected just how powerful her presence was in her community. Her aunt, Nakia Clay, said that nickname wasn't just for show. It showed how treasured she was. Friends remembered her warmth, her laughter, and her dedication to family. On the morning of November 15, 2025, at around 4:40 a.m., Dallas police responded to a call in the 1500 block of Elm Street, near Field Street. When they arrived, they found Aya pinned underneath a white SUV. The impact was devastating, and rescuers used airbags to lift the vehicle so they could pull her free. Despite their efforts, she was gravely injured. Fire rescue teams rushed her to a nearby hospital, but Aya would not survive. Her life, her ambition, and her presence were gone in a cruel and sudden moment. The driver of the SUV remained at the scene and cooperated with the police. As of the latest reports, the accident remains under investigation. News of Aya's death spread quickly. In South Dallas, friends and family gathered to honor her memory. They lit candles, released balloons into the night sky, and wore T-shirts emblazoned with her name and her nickname, Queen of Dallas. The gathering was emotional, joy tinged with heartbreak, grief mixed with celebration of her life. Her Aunt Nakia said it felt surreal, like they were all trapped in a nightmare they couldn't wake up from. But even in that deep sadness, there was purpose. Family and friends wanted her life to be remembered, not just for how she died, but for who she was. Aya's family described her as someone for whom family meant everything. To them, honoring her memory means showing the world just how loved and important she was. Authorities have confirmed that the crash is under investigation. Given the early morning timing, the location, and the circumstances, many in the public have raised questions. How did she end up in the path of the SUV? Did she trip? Was there a misstep? Some reports suggest she may have tripped into the street, possibly losing her footing before being struck. Witnesses claim there was a bloody trail along the roadway after the SUV came to a stop, indicating she may have been dragged or pinned under for some distance. As of now, the driver is said to be cooperating with investigators, but no charges have been reported publicly. The legal and investigative process is ongoing, and there is a sense among family and community that answers are urgently needed. Aya Knox's death resonated as more than a tragic accident. In her 23 years, she had become a beloved figure, not just in her family, but in her city. Her work in healthcare and her dreams of becoming a nurse spoke to a future she was building with purpose. Her obituary, social media remembrances, and the candlelight vigil all underscore how many lives she touched. Her family's decision to gather publicly, to wear her name and nickname, was a statement. They wanted her legacy to be known, to endure, and to inspire. In addition, a GoFundMe has been created to help her family lay her to rest with dignity. The outpouring of support, financial, emotional, communal, shows that her life mattered deeply. Aya's death also highlights broader issues: pedestrian safety, late-night traffic dangers, and how vulnerable people can be on urban streets, especially early in the morning. The fact that she was hit and pinned under a vehicle raises urgent questions about street lighting, driver awareness, and pedestrian infrastructure. For her loved ones, it's not just about grieving. It's about making sure her story changes something. They want her memory to spark conversations about how cities protect their most vulnerable, how communities care for one another, and how one life, even short, can leave a lasting mark. Aya Knox was more than a tragic headline. She was a daughter, a sister, a caring healthcare worker, and a dreamer. She carried light and love into every room she entered, and her loss feels like a piece of Dallas dimming. As the community waits for the investigation's next steps, one thing is clear. Aya's legacy goes beyond her death. Her compassion, her joy, and her devotion to family will continue to resonate. The Queen of Dallas may be gone, but in the hearts of many, she will never be forgotten.